नमस्ते मित्रों, आर टीवी में सभी का स्वागत है। आज हमारे साथ स्नेहल पागे है। स्नेहल पागे is a brilliant artist. She is an impressionist painter who is based in Pune. Her body of work varies from ranges from different subjects, from objects to still lifes to figuratives to landscapes to nature. The entire range. It's a huge spectrum. Let us know her thought process, her ideas, her observations about art and her paintings. Welcome, Snehal. Welcome to our TV.
Hello. Thank you. Thank you, Vasanji.
As I said, Snehal, one of the brilliant impressionist painter. Now, how did your art journey begin? The way you paint, the way you give that, throw the colors on the painting. Today, when I see it, I always wonder, how did that decision making happen long back, that you wanted to be an artist?
Wanting to be an artist was not very conscious decision for me. I mean, in school, I was good at what now I understand is a craft, because in schools, in India mostly, the art education in art school, in school, primary school, and it's all about painting in boundaries, I think. आप एक आउटलाइन करते हो और अच्छी तरह से प्लेन कलर से भर देते हो. That is how it is taught in India. But now I understand it is art is all about breaking boundaries, right? So now I try to work in edges. So there are broken edges, there are lost edges. So I like to play with edges. But at that time, I was very neat. And so my art teacher appreciated it. And so people said, ये लड़की अच्छा पेंट करती है या अच्छा ड्राइंग करती है. So it was kind of decided. But then my parents were very supportive of being an artist, and they actually helped me in various ways. Now अभी दिवाली आ रही है तो आकाश कंदील जो करते हैं वो हम करते थे एक साथ. और गणपति का जो जिसे आरास बोलते हैं, डेकोरेशन, वो हम करते थे. तो ये एक्टिविटीज आई थिंक मोर हेल्प मी एज एन आर्टिस्ट देन the normal art education. And then I went to art school, and I decided very foolishly to become a commercial artist.
Okay.
So it was wrong decision, not wrong decision as such, but it was not feel for me. I understood after completing my education, completing my diploma. And then I was teaching for a while. And then I started feeling inadequate. Like in commercial diploma or applied diploma, we get to do some portraiture, like live painting and illustration. Illustration was my favorite subject at that time. But it was not enough. Like I didn't study enough. I did sketches, landscapes, but thorough understanding of anatomy and light and many things which even the illustrator needs, I was not adequate. So I thought I should study more. And I started looking for further education. And my father insisted that I should study abroad. I thought it was too costly and everything, but he was insistent, and he said that I should see art abroad, and that will broaden my perspective about art and many things about life. Actually, I should live independently, like, because if I keep studying Pune, I will never become independent. So that was also one aspect. So I started looking for art schools, and I've found this art school called Studio in Kaminati. I went to their website. I saw the alumni work and student work, faculty work, and I didn't know exactly what they taught, but it fascinated me, and I said, I want to paint like this. So I applied there. After that, I found that it was impressionist art school. And I was very thankful for it because I am fascinated with color. Um, so I went to the most most right most
Right place, like you landed up
yeah.
in the right place.
Yes. So I'm
Unknowingly.
fortunate
Okay.
about it. And the course was fantastic. Uh, it was very practical oriented school. We did a lot of gestural drawings, color studies, grazils, all from life, nothing from reference. It was uh, um, there was news studies, so it was very good for anatomical understanding. It was the most exciting time, I think, of my life. Yeah.
And then after the completion of the course, you decided to come back to India.
Yes.
Yeah, which that's again another unusual thing. Usually people go abroad, they don't like to come back to India.
Uh, Even it was a very good place, but I felt that I would start painting like them. Uh, so I didn't wanted that, and I didn't feel very much rooted there. Um, the subjects were the usual path was to become a fellow there, like a faculty there, and keep painting. But I didn't thought that I would find subjects to paint,
Okay.
which are very dear to me. I
Okay.
mean, I could have keep doing figurative art, but it would have been very superficial, I thought. And I think it was a right decision. And I couldn't complete 4 years because there was some visa problem. So that also was there. I could have gone back and could have completed the course, but I was uh, I was eager to start
Not that keen like going back and
painting.
yeah, yeah.
So yeah, um, so, so I came back here. Yeah.
Excellent, excellent. And in fact, it was a very good decision. And now I can see when I see your paintings, I can see the variety of subjects that you have. Now coming back to your art, Snehal. Now, I should definitely say one thing. One of my keen observations about you as an artist is your creativity and imagination is very much scientific and has a lot of logics. It's logical,
Yeah.
which is unlikely in an artist. Because artist, when imagination or creativity comes, it goes beyond scientific this way. Okay. That is one thing. Second thing is like, you ask anyone, even I have observed, like Snehal is always lost in her thoughts or she is observing something. दो चीज. स्नेहल बात बहुत कम करेगी, वो कुछ तो सोचती होगी या तो कुछ तो देखती होगी, कुछ तो ऑब्जर्व करती रहेगी. तो क्या सोचते हो, क्या ऑब्जर्व करते रहते हो ऐसा?
I never thought I am that introvert. I don't know. I I like to observe light. That is the main aspect of my painting. Light is I paint light. Uh, and color. I get excited about some color, like then I start to just fascinated by it. And about logic, so I was not very superstitious anyway, but one time there was an incident in Pune that um, there was a rumor that Ganpati was drinking milk. And I don't know why I believed it, but I told my parents that this is how is that happening, and my my father was really I mean didn't ridicule, but he just went like, oh, how can you believe this?
Believe this.
And then I thought, how can I believe this? And then I decided that I won't believe unless I see it.
Yes.
And if you have seen a movie called Akho Dekhi, it's a very fascinating movie. Um, I thought I resonate with that. I think Mishra, that actor, the character is played by Mishra. I don't remember his name, but I have decided that I won't believe unless I see.
Yes.
And even with my paintings, I try to do that. Like, if I see it, then I will paint it.
Exactly. Exactly. I remember this statement. Friends, you should know this statement also. In 2014, I had invited you for an art camp in Udupi. I hope you remember that.
Yeah.
Okay. Where we had to paint, it was a temple concept where we had to paint Lord Hayagriva and Lord Bhuvara, if at all you remember. All the artists were painting that. Okay. And when I asked you, saying that painting, can you paint one Hayagriva? That time your statement, your response was, I paint only what I see. If you want me to paint Lord Hayagriva, bring Lord Hayagriva and make him sit in front of me, I will paint. Okay? That was your statement. And that was the day when I found like, here is a lady who speaks her mind straight. Your definition for painting, observing, and expressing is well defined. It's concrete. There is no gray area. It's you see, you observe, you paint. That is why I term that your creativity or your imagination is quite scientific. लाग लपेट नहीं है उसमें. जो दिखता है वो एक. Now I see this as a very courageous attitude to speak one's mind straight and to paint what you can do. Now, when I see your subjects, be it still life, be it figurative, or be it right now what nature's painting or the landscapes or beautiful earthscapes that you're doing, your paintings or your rendering is you first see the layers of colors and light and shades in the subject, and then you start bringing it. Now I want you to talk something about that layering of colors, layering of that light and shade, and the process, how you really bring that observation on your canvas. Can you talk something about that?
Okay. In Incaminati, I learned this really beautiful technique called color study. It is about observing light and getting it on the canvas. So the the thing is, we as a representational artist, what we do is there is a three-dimensional object, and there is a light upon it, and uh, we translate that view, three-dimensional view, on a two-dimensional surface, may that be paper or canvas or anything. Um, so, so in that translation, you have to see shapes. You have to see shapes of light and shadow. It is easier to paint if you can differentiate light and shadow. And there is a uh, they have many sayings like the uh, stand back and squint. Then every when the plane changes, color changes, like that. So I keep those things in mind. And the technique is when you start applying colors, go for very saturated color first, and then get back uh, to make them more realistic. But initial response should be uh, very intuitive and uh, very direct painting. Like you try to mix color on the canvas, not on palette.
Okay.
Uh, so the colors will look very fresh, because when you mix on palette, it gets very contaminated, and you don't have that visual mixing. Like there are two layers of colors, uh, and like pointillism basically. So broken color, like there is one color behind and there is one color applied on it, and you get you visually mix them. The viewer, he can visually mix them. So it is very impressionist thought, uh, originated from pointillism and dabbing. So that is my process, applying very fresh colors. I do use good colors, like I used Wilson and Newton colors. They are very fresh. It is also another reason my paintings can keep freshness. So good quality material is also important. Um, and I have started to try a bit respond uh, to a view, but emotionally also now. I've tried to do it. So that is a new thing for me.
But
Uh,
before that, before coming to that, I would like to ask, what fascinates you? Like if I see your body of work, initially you were doing the still life that you have, the portraits that you have, such beautiful portraits. The figurative subjects of yours also is quite unique. I will come to that in the next questions, like how about your composition. And currently when I see nature, now when I see the spectrum, when I see the range of subjects, today I ask you this: what fascinates you around you? Because you are one of the painters who can paint only what you see. Bottom line. Now, what fascinates you?
One thing is light. Light
Mm-hmm.
is very important when I paint. Um, when I was doing still life or portraiture, um, still life I didn't know do much. It was I did still life as a studies, like color studies mostly started with still lifes. So very simple things like boxes, cylinders, that kind of a thing. And then I did some still life, but I, that was not my focus at any time. So I presented a exhibition called Magna, at in which I painted people who are very immersed in some doing something they like, or with passion. So in that I painted that the painting Anugraha, and voluntary simplicity. The person who is सूट कताई वो कर रहे हैं, वो painting. After that, I I I don't know, but I found that I'm very introvert person. I mean, I have always been very introvert person, and I like to being alone. I like solitude. Uh, so I started doing landscapes, and uh, my parents had this farmhouse, and I used to go there and paint. Um, and then I found that the form of trees is very beautiful. So I started painting that. So it was very natural. I mean, I went there and started doing landscape, and I just gravitated towards trees. That's all. And and uh, I naturally avoided figures in landscapes. I didn't like putting any figure in that. So because the feeling was feeling of solitude. So the figure doesn't really is required.
Yeah, you want to be connected with the nature. That's it.
Yeah, and painting trees was like painting in a pocket where human contact is very less. Like I have created this window in which I don't find any human interaction. Um, but then I started seeing through trees at, like in between branches. I started seeing mountains around it. There is a small mountain, not mountains. There are small, what you call is a technique.
Hills, like.
Hills, the small hills, and I thought I should paint that also now, because trees is an endless subject. I can paint them lifelong, but I thought, I mean, after a while, you start to do something else, simply doing something different. So I started painting mountains or hills around that area, and then I went to Spiti in this July, and that feeling, it
That is an
just
adventure, a huge
in
adventure.
in myself alone.
Yeah, that's it. It's you
In
and your
miles, no
colors.
one was there.
Yeah, you and your colors. That's it.
Yeah, that feeling was something else. I mean, I never felt that much of a solitude anywhere. In Maharashtra is very populated state, and there you won't find a person or even a dog.
A few 100 meters like this.
Yes. And I used to go bit off-road, and it just huge mountains, a river, and even trees are less there because very less vegetation. So that was, I think I'm going to paint for a while that in that place. I'm going to go there again and again.
Again and again, again and again. I know. So it's only the beautiful earth and the beautiful sky. That's it, and some water bodies here and there.
Yes, yes.
And then Snehal Page amidst that. That's it.
Snehal Page just disappears in that.
True.
I don't know. I feel I don't even even I went there alone this time in September. I went there alone, and I forgot about about I have a family here and everything. I just forgot things. I mean, about Snehal Page, she was not there.
She was not at all there. Okay.
Something else, someone else was there.
Yeah, someone. And how was that experience? You felt so much in connected with yourself, with the nature.
Yes.
How do you think? Yeah.
Yes. And views are. I mean, in Himalayas, I went there for trekking and everything, but I never went to what you call as Trans Himalayas, and it has. You can find very simplified compositions there, and there are not too many objects. Like, and it's very vast. So that feeling of very simplified life is even there. Even I did few portraits there, and even that doesn't. You don't get the uh, feeling of crowd there. Even there are few people around, because the life there is very hard, and so it's very simple. They don't require much, and they are very they are very connected with nature. So I did few portraits there. So
I always felt one thing about your work, that is like you are one of the brilliant artists, especially in the field of portraits and figurative painting. In fact, otherwise, usually by and large, the opinion is that making live portraits or something is like you have a lot of male artists, female artists, very few, less. Now you had made a niche on that, and I always had this question in my mind. Snehal creates such beautiful figurative and portraits, and what made her move away from that? And I mean, of course, you told that you wanted to live in that solitude thing. But apart from that, technically also, if at all you see, or emotionally also, if you see, what made you shift from that subject and you feel working more on nature? Can you hear me?
now I missed a bit, a minute or so.
Yeah. Okay. I said I'll repeat my question. It is like,
Okay.
I said, you are one of the brilliant artists who made a niche in portraits and figurative art, which usually, by and large, is done by a lot of male artists. Female artists doing live portraits or something, it's very less. There are some, but there are very few. Very few. Your portraits are so brilliant. Your figurative art, composition wise, color wise, subject wise, they are so brilliant. What made you shift from such subject getting to nature? Of course, you said that you wanted to experience that solitude and express that only in your paintings. That's one of the, but apart from that, I always thought, like, such brilliant work, such brilliant things, and you go to something else. What made you shift?
The portraiture is a bit limiting, I think, because with composition, you can do many compositions and you can experiment with it, but you have to still deal with head and shoulders, like even and if you are doing a small portrait, you can't do much experimentation with it. If you are doing a bigger one, then you can have bigger background and then you can play with it. But I was told by my mentor or one a person who I consider my guru or teacher, Manoj Sakai. So he said, you should experiment with design and composition more. And so I thought landscape is more appropriate avenue for doing those kind of experiments.
Okay. So you feel the space to experiment and explore is more in nature rather than figurative for this thing, like.
Yes.
And in the beginning of our discussion, you said that right now you break boundaries. Now, can you elaborate something about?
No, I don't break boundaries. I was just I think now that art is about not doing same thing again and again. That is one thing, but with edges. I mean, in a very physical sense.
Can you elaborate something on this, like breaking boundaries and on the edges? How do you see that?
Edges. There are few edges in very physical sense, like in a like there is a sharp edge, there is a blurred edge, there is a broken edge, like there is it's like a mesh. This color and this color is meshing in between. So that is, and there is a lost edge. So generally in shadows you have lost edges. So to get that aerial perspective, you blur things and sharpen things. So it's like focus. So to get that distance in your painting, a feeling of distance and aerial perspective, you have to do these exercises about edges. Like a subject is focused, so it has a sharp edge, and in background you have some broken edges or lost edges. So that is very physical and very I mean, it is practiced a lot, but in primary schools you draw very neatly and then fill it with a very plain color. So that is not done with a realistic painting.
I know. why I am interested in this term called breaking boundaries is, okay, now in the field of art, breaking boundaries, exploring new horizons or new arena is fine.
Yeah.
Now, as an artist, I think somewhere in your personality also, probably in your mental this thing, in your mental area, emotional area, in your personal area, in your beliefs, in your convictions, have their boundary, have you broken the boundaries there and gone to new arena? And do you think something about some changes in your beliefs or convictions, they are reflected in your art, and that could be is that a reason where you have broken boundaries here also? These are two different parameters, the mind, our emotional area, or you can say our convictions, our beliefs, in whatever it can be, in social life, it can be in personal life, it can be in emotional life. Because the as an artist, you cannot separate these two things. Whatever happens inside gets
Yes.
expressed. Okay.
Yes.
Now, breaking boundaries in your art, has that happened somewhere with your belief and conviction also? Are they connected? Is there something to do with that?
Uh, I don't know how to answer. Well, breaking boundaries is
Okay,
I think it should be done very naturally. If you it has to come very naturally. If I experience something, say supernatural, then I would start expressing that maybe. So it has to come very naturally. I can't just say now I'm going to break boundaries and do whatever. I don't know. So it has. I mean, that sentence I said that first about breaking boundaries is. Um, I don't think it has to be very in a rigid sense, like doing something different on for sake of doing something different. Um, every person is different, so the art every person do is going to be different, uh, and uh, and and one can't do same thing again and again. It's going to be boring. So you have to do something different in every painting, I guess. Otherwise, it will it will just suck all the fun.
correct. Yeah, yeah. Has any event or experience, it can be a personal event or experience, a social event or experience, a political event or experience, an emotional event or experience, anything that has either made or either broken you, and that reflection is in art or in your paintings or in your colors or in your thought process, anything such?
No, I don't think so. On a personal level, uh, I am I see things and I react to them just in my space. But I don't think I have done any kind of that kind of expression in my art now. Um, but yeah, as a realist or a rational person, um, when in Pune there was a murder of uh, Dabholkar, uh, who was pioneer of Andhashraddha Nirmoolan. So that That hurt, not
That
hurt. I
incident.
guess I was disturbed with that. I was disturbed. Um, so that actually made me more of a rationalist. I can't really stand um, all I well nonsense about uh, about really stupid things people do uh, in
Like
name of religion.
blind
In
beliefs
name
in
of
the name of
religion,
religion. Yeah, yeah.
yeah. Um, and now even it is more pronounced in India. If you have heard, uh, uh, they really don't have sense of humor. They, I mean, that is disturbing thing for me. So I don't know how to express that in my art. Uh, but it certainly put me off of religion more, because they are pushing people like me away with their uh, really fanatical beliefs. So, but I don't think it has done any different in my art.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Like the reason why I was always curious is because usually there are in India there are I have never seen any painting of yours about gods like Krishna, Ganesha, and all. But because usually that is like every artist does it. I have never seen any of your works on those lines. So that was was it a deliberate attempt, or is it something like which never interested or fascinated you? Saying that I should draw Ganesha, I should draw Krishna, or I should draw something, or most of, I mean, any of the stories or episodes of that.
I did. I did thought of that in my when I was a student in Abhinav. Um, when Vasudev Kamath was I mean, he's still painting Mahabharata and all those uh, uh, what you call as a Pauranic subjects or stories. Um Actually, I was interested in that, and so I thought I should learn more about uh, history and all that things. So I went to TMV, Tiyak Maharashtra Vidyapit, and I did a course called Indology. And and I get to know all things about how religion works, uh, about how gods are invented or came into practice, worship and everything. And it actually did opposite that I was expecting. I become an atheist.
Okay. Fair enough. Fair
So,
enough. Fair enough.
but it was a very good. It was a very good course I did. I'm glad I did that course.
Yeah. No, I definitely agree to this point that you do a course and then you decide saying I'm not going to do this. That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
It is like first to suppose if someone wants to say, if I want to say like, okay, this particular concept is, I don't agree to this, so it means first you have to read that.
Yeah.
And then so that is one very what do you say, this is what I always saw in you as an artist, that you are very honest to your convictions, whether you never bothered what the opposite person thinks, but you never try to impress, though even though you are an impressionist painter, but you never try to impress someone saying that, okay, yeah, you always stood by your convictions, you always stood by your beliefs, you always stood by what you thought and what you saw. I think that is the strongest element of your of you being as an artist. And as long as this aspect is there, your paintings is going to be wonderful. It's going to create a lot of magic, even in the future. It's in our Pauranik, it's always said, like, for example, in that Hiranyakashipu and Prahalad, that story, Prahalad ko bhi moksha mila, Hiranyakashipu ko bhi moksha mila. Hiranyakashipu 100% believed there was no God, no doubt about it. Whereas Prahalad believed 100% there is God, even usko bhi moksha mila. ये बीच में जो रहते हैं ना, जो इधर इधर होते हैं, ये हमेशा it is like they are the sink. I said we human beings belong to that category where we oscillate like ऐसा. But this is one very nice thing about you, that you are very, your beliefs and your conviction is very clear, concrete, very simple, down to earth, bottom line, simple. So I think that as long as this conviction holds, it's like your painting is going to be marvelous in the coming days. My next thing I would like to know about you is, like, who are the artists who really inspired? Who are the artists who really created a mark in you or in your thing, saying that, wow, this is someone like?
In India, I always admired Kamath sir. Obviously, he is as an artist, as a person, as a teacher, everything.
His rendering is great. Yeah, excellent.
Yeah, and I like work of Manoj Sakareji, Achrekar, Vijay Achrekar, and I have very personal relation. I mean, we did a show together with Manjiri More, so I admire her work too. But in India, that they are my favorite people and artists. And in Inkaminati, there were, I mean, all the instructors were at least, they had at least one Portrait Society award. So, and some with more. So all instructors. I lived with Robin Frey. So she was also really kind to me and a really great teacher who would encourage and guide a student with a very different point of view. There is Dan Thompson. He is a great colorist, studied under Henry Hedgie. So he is one of my favorite artists. Lee Waite is there. I think about Lee Waite.
The list goes. He's huge, like, yeah. Among the old masters,
I like Van Gogh, Klimt, and now I'm really into Russian impressionists. I'm following them a lot.
Yeah. Trust me. I have seen Russian impressionist painters. They are. I think yesterday I was talking to Raghunath Sahu, and we were talking the same thing, because Russian expressionist, I mean the painter, impressionist painter, especially the figurative, वो आंखों में जो एक्वा ग्रीन है, एक्वा ब्लू भी आता है ना उनके आंखों में, वो भी इतना बारीकी से कारीगरी से निकालते उसमें. So whenever I used to see these nude paintings of these Russian painters, most of the times I remembered Raghunath Sahu, because Raghunath Sahu also plays with a lot of light and shadow and watercolors. So yesterday when I was talking to him, I said, Raghunath, someday I would like to see nude painting of watercolor paintings, done by him with this thing, because he has that thing. But what you said is very right. Russian painters, amazing, amazing. They are.
I was very fortunate to see all that work in person. In Philadelphia, I saw impressionist paintings. Monet, Van Gogh, Degas, many impressionist artists, and American impressionism, Sargent, William Mary Chase, and 2 years back I went to Russia with a group of artists. Kamatsa was there, and I saw original artwork in Russia too. Repin, Sechin, everyone. And I saw early works of Nikolai Roerich, and even in India, I am fascinated with Nikolai Roerich a lot.
Yeah.
And now especially because I am painting in the Himalayas. So Nikolai Roerich.
I remember Vasudev Kamath telling me, saying that in Russia, when you guys were touring, so every day morning you would plan that, okay, today let any one of us try to find one bad work. And every day evening, you guys would feel saying that, no, we couldn't find one bad work. It is not that you're going in search of a good work, but it's let us see if we find some bad work. Yeah. But that's another question which I always had in mind, I always imagine like this way, or I'll always had this. You're such a brilliant impressionist painter. Your colors, your space, your compositions. Were you never interested, or did you ever get a thought that you should work some abstract works, paintings? Or I would say non-objective, like, abstraction, because even in your landscapes also I see so much of abstraction. That's fine, but non-objective, it's like only with colors or something. Or do you have any ideas of doing it?
Not now. I am trying to get that kind of textures and compositions in landscape right now. And the thing is, I went to art school in as a applied art section. So we had a subject called design, which dealt with all the aspect of composition really, but in terms of advertising. So I studied that, but I never went through the formal fine art education. So I never really got I don't know that foundation. About that? And I don't know. I don't think I ever thought. I mean, I think about it, but I to learn how to apply color, how to manage a space. I like to learn about composition and design, with abstract artists. Like there is a lot to learn about design, and abstract paintings can teach you more about that aspect than realistic art, I think.
But have you ever tried? Have you ever tried creating abstract work?
Yeah, I did some sketches, but I didn't really. I didn't really had much fun with it.
You couldn't connect to it.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Fair enough. And what are your dream subjects? Now we are doing this PT series and all, I understand. But really, what is that one subject which you think like, yeah, जिंदगी में ये करना है मेरे को, this is one thing which I would like to do, a dream subject of yours which you would like to paint?
I don't know. I would like to paint something to do with feminism. I think. I don't know, but I'm not very sure about it. Because I think about all these things a lot, like in social environment, but I don't know how to express it with thinking. I think about it a lot, and I am trying to have a way to express that, but right now it's kind of in. I've kept it aside because this is more fun. I mean,
Yeah.
those subjects are not happy subjects. So I don't know. I'm a bit lazy about it, I guess. But the mountains are very. Uh, I'm very at peace and very happy to do it.
Do
So
it.
I'm still doing it.
Excellent. And often we see that your artworks are quite small in size. So do you restrict yourself to the size of the canvas, or do you play with the larger size canvas as well?
Uh, I am planning on it, but when I was doing on the spot landscape, um, it is not very, it is not at all possible to do bigger artworks on the spot. So mostly I do A4 size paintings on the spot, and then come, and I'm planning to do bigger ones because with trees I didn't really need uh, bigger size. I mean, the medium size was okay, but with Spiti, I think there is a need for a big canvases because it's a
It's a
you
vast.
can't get that feeling of vast emptiness
Yeah,
with smaller size.
yeah.
So with the subject,
It
the
fits well.
size depends on the subject.
Excellent, excellent. Now, before, I think I've taken a lot of time from you, but I have another two questions with you. What do you think about when you see the contemporary art scenario, when you see other artists, when you see other galleries doing work and all, what do you think? How do you think? Like, good, not good, happening in the right way, not happening in the right way? What do you feel? What's your critic
Um,
view? I would like
okay.
to.
Okay. Um, I think that there is nothing wrong or right in art. I think that because um, anything can be right if it is experienced by an artist. I think whether it is a I don't know emotional or um spiritual, whatever. If it is experienced truly, then it shows and it is admired even by me because it is honest. So, as I said, I do learn a lot from, I mean, I try to learn from abstract art about compositions and color schemes. Um, uh, I just don't like to limit myself as a I don't want to be that in that very group that that says the other person is wrong. So I don't want to be in that group. um, I have I do have good I should have good conversation with any kind of artist. um, it just in art school sometimes it is in fine art, I think in fine art uh, uh, side of art school, um sometimes it is considered that you don't need to learn art. You just need to express it. And that is very dangerous thing to say, I think, because every other form of art like music or acting or
Dance, yeah.
anything, they have to
Go through the basics. They have to have a strong foundation.
yes, go to and have understanding of what is being done before. Uh, and so I'm not agree with that because just like paint like a child, whatever. Uh, it has to be a conscious decision that you want to paint like a child, then paint like a child. But just because it is marketable, then artists shouldn't do that because maybe
In the long
it
run, yeah. In the
in
long run,
short term
they
it will
damage.
be good
Yeah,
for that artist, but it won't be registered in history.
yeah,
So that,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
I don't know what to just say,
Yeah, yeah, I
but
understand. I understand. I get your point. It's like, yeah. And the last question I would ask is like, see, it's art, artists, and society have to be connected. Okay, and since day one, there are a lot of artists, galleries. In the olden days, it was kings, maharajas, and all who and currently also people have been doing it. What would be that one thing which Snehal thinks, okay, this is one extra thing that has to be done, where art, artist, and society can be connected better way?
uh, for scenario right now is in India, uh, it has become a bit fanatical, and people get offended about really travel things. Ads has been banned. I mean, it's really laughable. The why they got offended because someone decided to name their brand something. I mean, don't buy it. That is really uh, and it is that has been used for political reasons which art has nothing to do with. um, there was a comedian who was jailed for saying something. So that is not, I don't think it is right. It is right for society or art.
No, I'm talking
uh,
about visual art, especially in visual art.
okay. uh, so vi- in India, it has always been said that visual awareness is very less. I mean, people, most of the people would comment on music, like they like something, they don't like something, they have an opinion. But about an art, everybody, I have heard this sentence so many times that I don't know anything about art. I don't understand about art. Uh, Even with paintings, like I do, which are very easy to understand. I mean, it's not, it's not, it doesn't take rocket science to understand this is a person, this is a mountain, this is a tree. It's
Yeah,
very, even with that, I don't know why people say that they don't understand art.
yeah,
And they definitely don't have any they don't make much effort to understand either. So
so the
that
understanding
is,
and the
I mean,
awareness of
I don't
visual art
know
is
why
there.
that is.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
I I mean, I'm very confused about this because um, you like some painting, you don't like some painting, that's okay. But you don't have to understand everything. You can appreciate it still. I mean, I don't understand classical music, but I still appreciate it.
Yeah, yeah,
So
yeah.
why can't be done say with that?
Yes.
And I think landscape painting. Kamath sir always said that going out and paint something landscape. It's always is going to always connect with people, and at least you get to show some art to some someone who is
Yeah.
never connected with art. So that is a good thing do, to do for an artist to educate people about art, or even just get them interested in art. So um interaction can it is lacking from artists too. So that is one thing.
I know. So the artist community and the society both have to work together to increase the awareness about art and visual
Yeah.
language, especially. I think that's going to connect. So let's see how it happens. It was really
Your channel, I think, can be very useful for that. I hope
well.
so.
Well, I've been trying to do this. Like, for example, these online curations, what I do, where I write articles, where so initially when I used to do it there was no one, but nowadays when I see there are a lot of people who read the articles, who understand the painting or have a view about the painting after reading the article. Now, definitely this is one more medium where I wanted the society to know the thought process or the thinking of an artist. So I think that also is going to help and connect. Of course, it's all like everyone are doing. This also is one
Yeah.
small way about it. Yeah, but it was always, yeah. And yeah, it was nice talking to you, Snail. Nice talking to
Yeah.
you. Yeah, I definitely would like to connect with you for more conversations in future, because I
Sure.
still have many more subjects and many more topics to discuss with you. Because let us see how it goes at time.
Yeah.
Okay, I will definitely
Okay.
invite you for other discussions. I believe, friends, you have enjoyed this discussion with Snehal Page. Try to know her thought process, what she thinks, what she sees, what she believes, and what she paints. Do let us know what you think about this. Like, share, comment, and subscribe RTV. Thank you very much, Snehal, to be a part of this RTV show.
Thank you, Vasan, for inviting me. It
Thank you.
was good to talk.
Yeah, we need to talk more.
It was good.
Yeah, 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 yeah. Okay, thank you very much. Thank you.